Reality. It's an ambiguous concept. It's an individual's perception of environment and situations with their five senses. What that means is how you perceive it is how it is. So when we come to terms with that, we realize we, in fact, create our reality.
We create our own reality. We decide who we are and what we're gonna be. We create our own.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Leveled Up Podcast with me, your host, Mike Adler. I hope everybody is doing well today. It's ready to start the week off strong. This episode is going to come out a little bit late on Monday. I've just been feeling under the weather. Some shit going around and I keep catching it, it seems like. So, let's just get right into it. You hear so many people talk about these great ideas that they have. You know, I'm sure you have friends or family or people you know that will talk about, you know, these things they want to do, whether it's a business idea, an invention, the plan that they have. And usually they're pretty good ideas. But ideas aren't shit without action. And so today I want to talk about just starting. Because we put things off. Everyone's guilty of it. We'll put things off for, you know, oftentimes people will be waiting for the perfect conditions, for all the cards to stack up right, all the ducks to be in a row before taking action. And what we learn is that this never happens. Things are never ready. Things are never perfect scenario. And so it's important to recognize that that's the case, that things are never going to be ready and right for you to take action, and that you just need to start. Every single thing that has been created or built was initially started. The starting point is essential for everything. Everything starts from something. But people want things to be perfect in order to even start, but that never happens. And so they never start. So it's important that you just take the initial steps and get started. Now, you may be entering into something that you've never done before, or something that's never been done before. But what you have to do is start by just doing some research. We live in this amazing time where we can just search things on the internet. We can find out a lot of information, even if it's something that's never been done before, by just searching, by using the good old Google and learning what we need to do to at least start. Expect it to be difficult. Expect it to be uncomfortable. Expect it to, you know, throw things at you that you weren't expecting. But if you don't start, then nothing ever happens. I know it sounds simple, and it is simple, but people struggle so much with just starting. And I made the first episode of this podcast is about taking imperfect action. And I discuss it in terms of how I was with this podcast. I put it off for 2 years or even more, because I didn't have the right setup, the right studio, the right, things. I didn't have all my ducks in a row to start. And so I took my own advice and just fucking started. Put the camera up in a car when I was driving somewhere and started recording. It wasn't perfect. It still isn't perfect. But the only way for a thing to get off the ground is by starting. And, it's kind of like people don't have the motivation, but motivation is fleeting. So you have to have the discipline to just do what needs doing, aka starting. Alex Hormozy talks about, he has a really good quote. I can't remember exactly what it is, but people will take, years to start something that ends up only taking, hours. So this thing, because he talks about in terms of like he put off doing this landing page forever because he didn't know how to do it. But then one day he decided, I'm going to sit down and make this landing page, and I'm not going to sit here until it's done. And it took him like 8 hours. So it took, maybe 2 years, like in the case of my podcast, took 2 years putting it off. Maybe not so much, I can't remember exactly, but you get the point. Put all this time putting it off, and then it ends up only taking hours when you actually sit down and start the fucking process. So we have to have the discipline to just get the wheels in motion, to just begin taking action. And as we start doing something comes up and we learn something and, we apply it. And it only happens once you begin taking action. So think about something in your life that I'm sure you've had hundreds of amazing ideas. And I would bet that for the vast majority of you've done nothing with them. They've all just fallen to the wayside and have just become forgotten ideas. Now, if you're someone who takes notes and you have your ideas written down somewhere, go look at those. And maybe if they're dated, see how long ago you came up with that idea. And now imagine if you had started on that date, started taking imperfect action towards building whatever it is that idea was. Where would you be with that today? Chances are you'd be a lot closer to that thing becoming a reality, if not it already being a viable product or service in the marketplace. But because you stopped at the idea and didn't start taking action, nothing ever came of it. So we have to train ourselves to, when we find or come up with an idea this is actually something that would be cool, would be beneficial, would solve a lot of problems. When you have those ideas, having the discipline to say, okay, I'm gonna start taking action on this right away. Almost make it a game. How fast can I start taking action? Because that's the only way that these things ever become something. I mean, just imagine the world if everyone acted on every idea that they had, that every good idea. Because it's easy to come up with ideas. If if we all sat down for a few hours, we could come up with a list of life-changing, world-altering ideas, but they're all nothing without the action behind them. So starting is the most important thing we can do, because nothing becomes anything without the start. So hopefully, with me saying this, it's giving you some motivation, some inspiration, because I know you have good ideas. We all have good ideas. But we have to stop letting them just stop at ideas. And the only way to do that is by starting. And just know that it's not going to be perfect. Nothing is in the beginning. Nothing is ever. Perfect is not attainable. But it's something we strive for. And people use that as an excuse to not even start because things aren't perfect. They're never going to be perfect. So I need you, I want you to please, when you have those ideas, you don't know if this could be the thing that changes your life, that changes the lives of hundreds of thousands of millions of people. But you'll never know if you don't start. So do whatever it takes to take those initial steps and get started on bringing them into reality. I'm going to keep it short. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Thank you for tuning in. If you could, leave a comment on the video, some of your ideas. If you don't want it, people are also scared to share ideas because they don't want other people to steal them. But you'll notice that everyone has the same problem of not starting shit. So what you're scared of other people stealing from you, you don't have to, because they're not going to do anything. No one does shit. That's what sets you apart from everyone else, is if you're someone who starts, who takes action and starts implementing what they learn right away. So leave a comment, subscribe to the channel while you're over here, and if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, there's a link in the description to sign up for that, or you could DM me at TheRealMikeAdler on Instagram, or email me at TheRealMikeAdler@gmail.com. And then I also have my Get Fit Blueprint if you're interested in getting your body in shape and building the physique you desire. I teach you everything you need to know, and you can sign up for that as well with the link in the description, or again, DM me or email me. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and please share this out with someone who needs to hear it. It's the only way these messages get out, is if you share it with your people. Because you have people, people that I don't know, and by sharing it with them, we're able to reach more people. And the whole goal of this podcast is to help others level up their lives, and that's what we're trying to do here. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great week, and until next time, just start. Just get started on those ideas. See you next week. Peace.
We create our own reality. We decide who